Hello, good morning everybody. We are going to learn the important text of NatyaShastra. We will see the chapters 1 to 15, a brief introduction to it. As we all know, NatyaShastra is written by sage Bharata. Bharata's NatyaShastra is considered one of the most extensive work on all the aspects of performing arts, namely dance, drama and music. Its unique and undisputable importance is universally accepted. Its effect and impact on the later writers' treatises is immense. This is because NatyaShastra combines the theory and practice as well as formulates the concepts of dance as it describes its technique. So, it is imperative for serious students of dance to know the total content of the 36 chapters of NatyaShastra with extensive study of the chapters concerning dance, that are 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 19, 21, 22, 25 and 31. In this class, we will try to study and understand the content of all 36 chapters totaling 6000 shlokas. NatyaShastra is an important confluence in the tradition where continuous process of continuity and change happen. It is also a confluence of Shastra, that is scholarship, and Prayoga, that is the practice. The text of NatyaShastra gives discourse in diverse disciplines, which is the multidisciplinary nature. Not much is known of the author Bharata. It is a fact of Indian culture that personal histories of countless conceivers and temple builders, creators of sculptures, paintings, music and dance, drama are of little value both to themselves. Though there are some who are written about and acknowledged. Who was Bharata? When did he live? To such questions, many answers have been suggested. Long history and a list of scholars have worked on to establish the identity of Bharata as a person, group of people and such on. Various opinions of the word Bharata exists. Some things are specially needed to mention here, though there is mention of Mahesha and reference to Shiva. There is no mention of Nataraja. The rasa dances as compositions, or for that matter, there is no mention of Krishna in the NatyaShastra. Ganesha and the avatars of Vishnu are also not in NatyaShastra. We will move on to the first chapter of NatyaShastra, that is origin of drama. It has shloka from 1 to 129. The origin of drama, explained through an account of divine origin, was given by Bharata the sage in answer to the questions asked by Atreya and other sages. Brahma, the creator, created fifth Veda for the benefit of all the castes, including Shudras, the lowest caste, who did not have access to the other Vedas proper. After taking recitative matter from the Rigveda, singing from Samaveda, Abhinaya from Yajurveda and Rasa from Atharva Veda, Brahma created the fifth Veda and called it as the Natya Veda, which was handed over to Bharata, who taught it to his 100 sons. Bharata was indeed a teacher and preceptor of a school or academy with pupils or sons. Each of them may have been both performer and theoretist. The first performance of drama for gods is described. Evil spirits try to wreck the performance. Indra, with the Jarjara, destroys the evil spirits. In this chapter, Bharata is trying to trace the historical origins of Indian drama. Going through the whole chapter, one realizes that the commitments to only a single source or affiliation or cult or ideology is not required. Bharata says that this Shastra has been established in heaven and was brought down to earth by his sons. They put in practice the Shastra that augments man's intellect, deals with deeds of three bhuvana and is a specimen for all other Shastras. This chapter also contains names of sons of Bharata and Apsara, three vrittis, activities to pacify Vigna, building of playhouse by Vishwakarma, floral offerings, features and purpose of dramatic art and such on. In the second Prekshagruha Lakshana, construction of the theatre is given. Chapter 2 provides the physical space needed for the work of imagination and creativity as described in the first chapter. The space is the theatre. How three types of theatres are to be constructed: the rectangular, that is Vikrushta, the square, that is Chaturashra, and the triangular, that is Chastra. The various rituals and rites connected with the theatre construction, various parts of Vikrushta Madhyama Natya Gruha and their construction. It describes the detail of measurement, suitable site and plan, erection of pillars, Mattavarini, stage, etc. In the third, Rangadaivata Pujana, construction of the theatre, consecration of the physical space. The consecration or puja of physical space is universal in all the cultures of the world. The broad parameters of method of doing puja are laid down, a detailed description of which deity presides over which particular area of the theatre and the stage and how it is to be properly worshipped. The consequences are predicted for disregarding this ritual of worship consisting of pacification and purification. The chapter starts with procedure of Jarjara worship and Havana, the Mandala worship of deities, consecration of Mattavarani, right to Ranga Pradipana and Kumbha Bhedana. The fourth chapter is a characteristics of Tandava dance. This is one of the most important chapters for dance. A play was performed for the gods and another for Mahadeva. Amruta Manthana Samavakara, he was greatly pleased and asked Tandu, another sage, to instruct Bharata in the technique of the Tandava, the dance, its origin, the various movements of the limbs, postures and the gestures used in it. Bharata describes Tandava Vidhi, that is the rules of dancing and Tandava. Long description of various categories of movements, karnas and angahara is given and their composition in choreographic patterns as well. The basic movements of composite movements are karana, chari. The basic choreographic sequence are known as angahara. This pure dance and movement, which is pleasing and delightful, has no content, meaning nor theme and could replicate the dance of Shiva in its infinite variety. The divine origin of dance, Nritya as a category, and its place within the theatrical spectacle. In answer to the sage's query as to the appropriateness of the inclusion of dance in the Natya Veda, Bharata replies that dancing by itself serves no purpose to dramatic representation. It lends charm to the performance. The chapter begins with performance of play, Amruta Manthana and Tripura Dahana. List and description of 32 Angaharas and 108 Karnas and 4 varieties of Rechakas, Pindibandhas for different gods, purpose of dance, beginning of the play by the dance, Asarita and with 4 Pindis, occasions befitting the dance and its prohibition in the plot of drama and playing of drums. These all things are included in the 4th chapter Tandava Lakshana. Now we will take information of the 5th chapter, that is Purvaranga Vidhana, preliminaries to a performance. The ritual connected with the preliminaries, various items of Purvaranga inside and outside the curtain. It was an elaborate performance. The type and stages and structure of Purvaranga, that is Pratyahara, Avatarana, Arambha, Ashravana, Vaktrapani, Parighattana, Sanghotana, Margasarita, Asarita, Gita Vidhi, Utthapana, Parivartana, Nandi, Dhruva, Rangadwara, Chari or Mahachari, Trigata, Prarochana and Prastavana. Also another very important term is introduced here, that is Pindibandha. The 6th chapter is Rasadhyaya, an account of rasa. The chapter 6th and 7th of NatyaShastra are very famous and very centuries, and for centuries have captured the imagination of both the practitioner and theoretician alike. The primary moods, primary emotive states and sentiments are very universal and basic to human. These primary emotions are expressed in an infinite variety in time, local and speech through distinctive body languages, gestures and modes of speech, dress and costume, creation of rasa as essence and aim of dramatic performance is elaborated in this chapter. The 11 elements of NatyaShastra, that is rasa, bhava, abhinaya, dharmi, vritti, pravritti, siddhi, swara, atodya, gana and ranga. 8 types of rasa, their sthai bhav, vibhav and anubhav. Dhruvagan, Rasa Sutra, list of 8 rasas and sthai bhav, vyabhichari bhav and satvika bhav. Dharmis, detailed explanation of 8 rasas. We need to understand that the abstraction of life into primary moods, primary emotive states, sentiments is universal and basic to all humans. It is not individual or particular or culture specific. These emotions are expressed in infinite varieties of ways through body language, gesticulation, modes of speech in time, space and different locales. But with all these, jealousy, love, laughter, fear, wonder are universal. They are the core. When all these determinants, stimulus come together, a state of rasa is evoked, leading to the bliss or ananda. This is the creativity of drama, for that matter, all creativity explores. The 7th chapter is Bhavadhyaya, an account of bhava. The universal ras and bhava have the determinants, that is vibhav, and stimulants, that is anubhav. A state of rasa nishpatti is evoked or created through the coming together and interpretation of particular rasa and sthai bhava. All creativity or drama explores pain and pathos, joy or pleasure, amazement and wonder, and their interplay. These states are manifested through dress, costumes, body language, and speech. Detailed characteristics are given of sthai bhava and sanchari bhava, sattvika bhava and their vibhava, and anubhava, description of sattvika abhinaya. The eighth one is upanga vidhana, that is use of minor limbs. Definition of abhinaya and its various forms: angika, vachika, aharya, and sattvika. Three types of angika abhinaya. Description of minor limbs, that is eyes, eyebrows, nose, and so on. The head, the hands, the chest, and the buttocks and the legs are the principal limbs. Some movements of these are also described in this chapter. The ninth chapter describes hastabhinaya, that is hand gestures. Various types of hand gestures, that is 24th asanyuta and 13th sanyuta hasta, 13th rutta hasta. Their characteristics and uses are described in detail. Rules based on rasa bhava, action, time and place to determine the appropriate hand gestures and movements to be used in dance. The 10th chapter is Sharir Abhinaya, that is use of major limbs. Description of the use of chest, buttocks, abdomen, waist, thighs and legs, which are the major or principal limbs. The 11th chapter is Chari Vidhana, definition and uses, description and categorization of standing, sitting, reclining and walking or moving. A section on archery and its rules, movements of using weapons, instructions regarding exercise for the body, diet for a person. Mandala Prachara. 10 Akashiki Mandala and on the ground 10 Bhaumika Mandala, dance sequences and their categories which are formed by various charis. The next one is gaits and postures. Proper gaits or gatis for different characters and patra. Proper entry for characters, position of the feet, the time taken by character of different social status to travel the stage, the tempo of movements under special conditions, gaits associated with the different rasas. A stage hearing repertoire of sitting postures and gaits is provided by Bharata to suit occasion, gender, character, dramatic situation and mood in this chapter. The mimetic gestures and movements to suggest special persons, situations and moods associated with certain types of sitting postures. Proper seats for characters of different situations. In the play, reclining postures, that is Shayanavastha. The next we will see is Kaksha, Dharmi and Pravrutti, that is the zonal division, local color and nature of theatrical performances. The two natures of dramatic performances, that is presentational and representational, are explained here. It also deals with the symbolism involved in the use of certain stage conventions. The first on discussed is the use of stage areas, that is zones, to symbolize certain locals and places. Stage convention regarding the distance travelled when the stage is traversed a definite number of times. Significance of entrance through left and right door. Also, time place presentation in drama. The second topic discussed is the mannerisms or local colors and their classification according to the country, the dress, the language and the behavior. Two kinds of dramatical performances, graceful and forceful. The performance of the 10 types of dramatic compositions distributed in these two kinds. The concept introduced in the group of last 4 chapters provides an invaluable cluster of principles which guide Angika, the physical movement, and will further do it for the Vachika, that is Aharya Abhinaya.